My people, how are you doing? I have taken my time to go through most of my emails, and these are the most asked questions concerning our surrogacy journey. I'm going to take my time to answer them to the best of my knowledge. If you have any further questions, perhaps you could ask the agency by yourself, because I'm going to do my best to answer them, all right? So the first one is, how are you able to breastfeed? Now, thanks to science, you can actually induce lactation, all right? Everything that has to do with a woman's body is controlled by hormones. And if you're able to manipulate the hormones with some medication, you can trick the brain to thinking that you are pregnant, all right? By seizing your periods, you can actually trick the brain, and the brain will help you, okay, stimulate those mammary glands to produce milk. I currently breastfeed. However, I will tell you that it is not the same, okay? Science is good, but it is not the same rush as I had with my other two children. So I am not able to breastfeed exclusively at the moment. I am supplementing with formula, but I'm happy that I'm able to breastfeed. Your agency should be able to tell you or manage that situation. My agency did. When my surrogate was around 4 months, they contacted me and said, you know what, it's time to start. So that's that for that. Another one is, Nancy, what if the surrogate claims your baby in the future? And what if the married surrogate's partner refuses to consent or tries to claim your child? Now, the thing is, it is not an independent surrogacy. That is why there is an agency, okay? If there's no middleman between you and your surrogate, you can end up with so many issues. Now, surrogacy is legal in Nigeria. The paperwork involved in surrogacy, if you see it, in fact, it can even get you scared. The agency that I use, they usually use single mothers, people that are single, that are not in relationships, because of the complexities, it just depends on the agency you are using. My agency uses mostly single women that have given birth to children, okay? So that also answers the concern that some people have when it comes to are you going to be worried about your surrogate having sexual activities while pregnant with your child? The truth is, when you are pregnant by yourself, you will have sexual activities, okay? So you cannot stop a human being from having sexual activities. The thing is, the first trimester, because it is a medicated pregnancy, the first trimester is usually protected. The first trimester, you're supposed to abstain from every sexual activity if you are carrying someone's child. And also that helps, once you're above the 3-month mark, your blood is growing that baby. So if you've ruled out all the infections, if you've ruled out everything, your agency is supposed to carry out all those infection screenings and all that. In the contract, the surrogate is supposed to actually adhere to the rules. So you're not supposed to ideally have actual activities with suspicious elements, right? Because you are in a contract carrying someone's genetic material, right? And the person cannot in any way claim the child in the future, because it is not the person's child. It's not the surrogate's child. The surrogate cannot run away with your child. That's why you need to find an agency that manages them from the beginning till the end, okay? My agency manages them closely to the point that all their medications are taken at a certain time every day. They make sure of that, okay? They even have like a facility. If they want to stay there, they can stay there, just so that they are easily managed, and they have people, chaperones, that help to remind the surrogates, okay, so it's time for your medication. It's a process that requires like a hands-on approach. They cannot claim your child because legally that would be a crime. They could be in prison for that, and yeah, it's not possible. By law, it is impossible for anybody to claim your child when they have signed and when they are under close monitoring. There is no communication whatsoever with you and your surrogates. You don't get to. The only thing I know about my surrogate is her name, her first name, and the results of all the tests that she did. That's pretty much all I need to know. That's the good thing about going through a proper agency, all right? That gives you rest of mind. No legal issues can come up at the end of the day. And, like I said, use an agency that prioritizes less drama for you, right? So the third question is, what type of screening does the agency provide? So now the agency takes the surrogate through several tests, like I said, the infection screenings, all the, tests on the womb to be sure that the womb is fibroid free, all that stuff. So many things that come into play. Again, you cannot possibly cover all this as an individual. You need to go through people that know exactly how to manage the situation. Get what I mean? So does the surrogate live with their family or they live with the agency? I think I answered that. Nobody is under any prison, okay? If you are a single person, you've had children, and you want to help a family carry their child, the agency, if you have a proper agency, they actually offer you money to get an accommodation, or they accommodate you if you do not have like a proper accommodation that doesn't expose you to any sort of environmental issues like malaria or any infections. Of course, the surrogate has to be drug and alcohol free. There's so many tests that go into you can't just wake up and say you want to carry somebody's child. If you have a history of drug abuse, alcoholism, and all that stuff, even though you are a single person, the environment you live in has to be safe for both you and the child. How much did you pay for your surrogacy? I'll tell you something. I'm not going to tell you any price because I honestly, I know that what I even paid is not the same thing as what people that are doing next year are going to pay because of the economy of the country. What I'll tell you is that Nigeria is one of the most affordable countries in the world to do this stuff. One of the most affordable in the world. Ask the agency. I've tagged my agency several times. I paid for my cycle. So you should just slide into their DM and get a quote. Tell them, I want to know how much it will cost me to do this. All right, there's no harm in asking, but I cannot tell you a price, but I know for sure that is one of the most affordable in the world, Nigeria. What type of delivery, normal, vaginal, or CS? So surrogates are not allowed. Well, the agency that I use, they don't allow vaginal birth for several reasons. They want to be able to control every aspect of the pregnancy. It is a medicated pregnancy. So even from the positive pregnancy test to 3 months, they are being monitored, closely. Okay? And then after that, they're also being monitored every day, test every day, making sure that everything is fine. So they don't even take the risk for you to go into labor so that there won't be any stories like, oh, we're pushing, and you just take it out through CS. And you have to be able to consent to that. If you know you want to be a surrogate, there are certain agencies that do not allow vaginal deliveries for several reasons. Okay? IVF babies the same as normal babies. I'll tell you for sure that IVF babies are the same. I have the 2 types of babies. They are the same. In fact, this is my IVF baby. It's looking like a foodie because I'm comparing the way she's gaining weight, the way she's eating, the way she's crying, the way she's to my other children. These children are foodies, all right? They are normal. I'm not even supposed to answer that question, but it looks like a lot of people were genuinely asking if the IVF children are the same. They are the same. We have male factor infertility. My husband has refused to do IVF or use donor sperm. How did you get your husband to participate in IVF? So the thing is, if you are in a marriage where the infertility factor is on the male side, first of all, I don't even know why. It's only women nowadays that are speaking up. It's almost like it's women that have the problems, but a lot of people, I will tell you for sure that it's equal. It's 50-50. A lot of times it's the men that have the problem, and if they know for sure that it's them and they are refusing, okay, they are refusing to seek treatment, I guess it's time, and you know for sure that that's what you want to be able to have a child, and you have a husband who is azoospermic, for example, and refusing to take donor sperm. Well, I do, because there's no amount of prayers that can, I'm sorry to all the people that are, there's no amount of prayers that can bring back sperm cells that are not there in the first place, okay? So you have to know exactly what you're doing as a couple. It's not by just saying, oh, I do. Marry somebody that has sense, someone that is your friend that you can talk to, and you people can sit down and make a decision, okay? If it's his fault, he needs to stand up, go to the hospital and sign that consent form for you guys to get a donor sperm. That's if he does, except he doesn't want to have children with you. Then you can, weigh your options from there and know if you want to continue with the marriage or the relationship. So yeah, that's that. I did not have to do anything to get my husband to do anything because we are one. If this is what we want as a family, we both want a large family, then we will go ahead and do what is necessary to get it. Get it? So the next one is old, 39 and menopausal and divorced. Can I still have a child? Yes, you can. Okay? Yes, you can, even though you are menopausal. That's the good thing about science and the angels that donate their wombs, donate their eggs, donate their sperm cells every single day for people like us to grow our families. Even as a single person who is menopausal, you can expand your family, you can have children. Okay, you just need to contact the agency and tell them what you need. If you need donor sperm and donor eggs, the collabo, and then you put it in a surrogate, that's fine. If you want to carry yourself, even though you are menopausal, you may need, extra hormonal support, but it's possible, okay? Does the surrogate mother share blood with the baby? Of course they do. They do not share genetic material, but you are using the surrogate's body to grow your baby. So yes, the blood is going to grow the child. The blood is important to grow that child. The mother, the maternal blood is going to flow through the infant, and that's what's going to nourish the infant to help the infant, the embryo grow to a zygote and then, a baby. But yes, what if the surrogate dies carrying your pregnancy? So the thing is, the contracts are so well put. All right, we did ask that question as well when we were signing our contract. And the thing is, the agency, they told us that every woman that has accepted to be a surrogate has already accepted the risk involved. Okay, and that risk, if they are married, their husbands as well have taken that risk. There's a risk of death. All right. It also releases the intending parents from liabilities, like someone trying to say, oh, it's because of you that this happened. They know the risk and they are willing to take the risk for you. That's why I call them angels. All right, pregnancy is it's not a joke, and if someone is willing to do that, the person is aware of all the risks and everything that can happen, everything that can go south. All right. Sometimes the intending parents purchase life insurance just to make sure that their children, their partners can actually benefit monetarily from any situation that may occur. Okay, so I think that's pretty much almost all the questions that I got. I got one funny one on Facebook, by the way. Somebody wanted to know if the surrogate and my husband came together to have, X for the head to form. I laughed so hard, but I genuinely saw that she was serious, and she really thought that when somebody is pregnant, they need to continuously have X so that the head can form. But no, the surrogate is completely anonymous. You have nothing whatsoever to do with the surrogate. You don't get to see. The surrogate is free to live her life. After 3 months, she is allowed to have X with her husband or with her partner, as long as there is no infection in the mix, okay? There is a legal document signed to that effect. They could lose their contact, they could get sued, they could, in fact, litigation, correct one, could come as a result of them not obeying certain parts of the contract. So some agencies avoid all this by using single women. I have my agency that I used is mostly single mothers that have no extra partners, and I think that's less drama for everybody. They have 100% autonomy when it comes to decision making, and there's nobody saying, oh, I think it's my child in there, some random person saying I think it's my child. No, right? So from 1st to 3 months, if possible, they are sheltered and they are taken care of, making sure that they take their medication, because it is an IVF pregnancy. It is medicated. After then, yes, you are free to do whatever, because sometimes people can say, oh, my wife was doing this thing, so I'm sure the child in there is not your own, it's my own. There's no chance for that, because the first 3 months is protected. If you use a proper agency, that can never happen, all right? So there you have it. If you have more questions, let me know, but I think this is the end of the part series. I just wish you all the best. Like I said, this is purely educational. If you have a problem, Listen, you're married, you've married 1 year, no baby. Listen to me. Do not take it for granted. Go to a hospital and get checked. From getting checked, start doing something. All right, be proactive about your lifestyle. Oh, and a lot of people wanted to know the supplements that I was on. I had vitamin D for sure. I cannot tell you, I cannot prescribe supplements. That's the thing. People don't realize that PCOS is different for everybody. You have to know which nutritional deficiencies you suffer from. Most of the people with PCOS have vitamin D deficiencies. So if you're not on that, go and get on vitamin D ASAP. All right, I was deficient in certain, vitamins, and I took that, but I'm never going to come here and tell you that that's for the general population, because I saw a gynecologist, I saw a nutritionist, I saw a dietitian before I even started my journey. All right, so please do the needful. I am not a physician. I will not give you medical advice for the general population, because I took a curated treatment plan by my dietitian and by my physician. All right, love you guys, all the best.